Hey guys, welcome back to another flashlight review, and today we're going to be looking at the Xiaomi Mijia, and this is a two-in-one flashlight. So it's got a spot beam here, and it's also got this kind of side light as well, like a lantern, kind of lantern mode, and there is also a nice little candlelight mode here, so you can see it sort of just flicker around, which is pretty interesting. But the cool thing is, yeah, this 200-meter range beam. So it's kind of like an all-in-one flashlight. And I tell you what, when I found this thing in the mail, I thought to myself, it's really a weird-looking flashlight. You probably wouldn't pick what this thing does if you just got this out in the mail. It even looks a bit like a vacuum cleaner, one of those portable vacuum cleaners. But yeah, I think this would be great if you're someone who's maybe looking for a light to use in the bedside table, maybe just as a reading light, before you go to bed, because it does have a very warm beam that you can switch to, 3000K beam. And, it'd be great as well if you're someone who goes camping, goes hiking, maybe wants something that can attach to the top of a tent. So you've got this sort of area that you can hook something onto. So here's a side-by-side comparison. And I've got my Convoy M1 and also on the right here, my Convoy S6, just to show you the general size of it. And that's kind of in the middle, isn't it? I mean, the barrel, the actual part that you hold is pretty thick. And I'm pretty sure that there is an 18650 cell in there. It's built into the flashlight itself. But yeah, it's something that you can definitely slot into your pocket. There is no clip on it though. In terms of what you get in the box, it's pretty basic. That's the box here. And the writing is all in Chinese, and it's the same with the instruction manual. So I really think that this light was maybe intended for the domestic market, but perhaps Xiaomi are just trying to branch out to more international markets with some of their products. So here's a little close-up of the Xiaomi Mijia, and it's made of high-quality aluminium. And it definitely it reminds me a bit of like a kitchen appliance or something like that, or, those kind of Dyson hair dryers that you see in the shop sometimes. It's that same kind of anodized aluminium finish. Definitely feels high quality, sturdy, but it's still pretty light. And the light is IP65 as well. And yeah, I'd say it's a little bit slippery. Okay, it would be nice to have some knurling on it, but it would just take away from this sleek, almost futuristic design. And you've got a couple of rubber buttons here on the side I was playing around with before at the start of the video. And yeah, it says on the side here that it is basically powered by a 3100 milliamp hour battery. Okay, so yeah, it's somewhere in there, but it's not accessible. So there might be a way to take it out, but yeah, to my knowledge, it's not something that's consumer serviceable. On the back here, you've got the USB-C charging port underneath that rubber gasket there, and also this little attachment here that allows you to hook it onto an object, maybe onto the top of a tent or something like that. So this whole lens system is pretty unique. I've never seen something that looks like this before, but when you actually get a closer look at it, yeah, basically you've got at the base here a bunch of LEDs, okay, a bunch of LEDs behind that white diffuser, so that when you turn it on, there you go. It's kind of difficult to see, but when you turn it on, it sort of diffuses through that kind of opaque area. And the actual spot beam here has like a TIR lens. And I'm not sure what LED this is. I think it might be an Osram P9, maybe an SST40. Not quite sure, but it wasn't specified. And the entire construction of this top section here, this transparent lens and everything is made of plastic. All right, so I'm going to go through the UI and just show you how the light works. So When you press any of these buttons for a short duration, nothing happens. So this kind of serves as a bit of a lockout feature, which I think is good because these buttons hit flush with the body. If you're leaning it against an object and maybe you sort of momentarily press it, hit some keys in your pocket, you don't want that thing to turn on. So you really have to press and hold that on button up the top there, and it goes into the last mode, last sort of remembered mode. Okay, so this bottom button here just alternates between the spot LED, the lamp here on the side, and this candlelight mode. So the candlelight mode, you can't change any of the modes in there. It's just one candlelight mode, but with the spot beam, you can switch into it and then press that power button, and there's 3 different brightness modes. And the same thing goes for this light, this lamp on the side there. So there's 3 modes like that. So one, 2, 3. And the cool thing is that it actually becomes a lot warmer in the kind of lower modes. So I think there's 2, the way I've seen these things designed before is that there's 2 sets of LEDs in there. There's warm ones and there's cooler ones, and they just sort of mix the light from both of them to obtain the different tints. There is also a hidden feature. So if you press and hold this smaller button, you will get a strobe feature. And if you press again, you've got yourself an SOS feature. Unfortunately, you can't change the brightness of these SOS and sort of strobe features because they are pretty bright. But yeah, maybe good to have if you're looking to attract some attention. Okay, so I ran a bunch of ceiling bounce tests with the Xiaomi Mijia, and this is the spot mode on high, and you can see you pretty much get about a minute of runtime on that high mode before the light steps down quite suddenly. You can see just after the 2-minute mark, you're looking at about 40% of output. Still 1 minute on high is pretty good, 200 meters of throw. Also ran a second ceiling bounce test on the spot mode medium, and I didn't see any change in output for the duration of the test. Managed to hold that 100%. This is a ceiling bounce test on the flood mode, so basically the lantern mode on high, so the highest mode, and you can see pretty much, you get about just 45 seconds, maybe a minute of runtime on that high mode before it just starts stepping down with this sort of staircase style step down. So when you reach about the 4-minute mark, you're on about 50% output. I ran the same test on the medium mode, and you can see here there was no change in output as well. It managed to hold 100%. So I also ran some tests with my Oppo Lightmaster Pro, and you can see here on the high mode, managed to achieve 219 meters of throw. That's pretty decent for a little flashlight, little lens like that in there. And you can see the CRI ranged from 65 to 66. CCT was between 5,500 to 5,600. I also tested the lantern mode, and you can see, that pattern that I was discussing before, where on the higher modes, the CCT increases to 3,800, and on the lower modes is around 3,200 to 3,300K. So definitely a lot warmer, easier on the eyes if you're using it at night. I was pretty surprised that this thing managed to throw 200 meters, especially with this weird kind of design. I do wonder how this actually connects to a heatsink of some sort. Maybe there's a bit of metal running through there and then sort of goes through the body. But yeah, I mean, the thing does throw 200 meters, and even on the high mode, you get about a minute of runtime, which was super impressive. I think it's a really nice sort of all-rounder flashlight, and maybe for someone that's not, traditionally into flashlights, someone that's, just looking for something, maybe it could be good as a gift as well. There's some considerations to keep in mind. Now, this light is kind of like a jack of all trades. So you've got that side light and then the front LED light. And while both of those are pretty good, it's not going to perform as well as, if you've got a specialized flashlight, a specialized thrower that's going to be able to reach 400, 500 plus meters. Same with that flood / lantern mode. But in terms of overall versatility, functionality, I think this is something great, and I could see myself taking this along if I was going camping. So the second consideration is the plastic lens, and I don't know how Xiaomi would have kind of mitigated with this, because if you put a glass lens across this whole thing as well, storing this around your backpack, it's going to be kind of vulnerable to breaking if you've got other objects in there. But yeah, with this plastic lens, obviously it's going to get some scratches on there. The final consideration is the non-replaceable battery. And like I said, there's probably an 18650 cell in here. I'm not really sure how to get this light out. I might be able to unscrew it or try to get into it a bit later, but it definitely doesn't seem obvious and easy to open it up. They probably made it that way to just make sure people don't go into it, void the warranty, or mess it up. But yeah, that's something definitely to keep in mind. Overall, I think the Xiaomi Mijia 2-in-1 flashlight is a fantastic little option if you're looking for, an all-rounder, multifunctional lighting solution. And you've got that combination of that powerful sort of spot beam. You've got dual tinted lights in here on the side, sort of floodlights, so you can maybe use one bit earlier on in the evening, and then one before you go to bed on like a warmer mode, 3000K mode. I think this would make a really nice reading lamp as well, even like a mood light if you put it onto that candlelight mode as well. And yeah, I think that makes it stand out from a lot of flashlights, apart from the design. Of course, if you're looking for something that just looks a little different. So if you're looking for a compact all-in-one light for indoor, outdoor use, this one's definitely worth considering. If you have questions, let me know down in the comments below and I'll get back to you. If you enjoyed the video, do me a big favor and click the like button and share it with a friend. It really helps to grow my channel. And if you want to keep up to date with the latest flashlight reviews and news, make sure you subscribe. I've got the Xiaomi Mijia, and this is the highest mode, the highest spot mode. Really large hotspot, I have to say. That's like illuminating half of that field. You can switch in between, so that's like a low, medium, and high. I'd say this light is more suited to maybe mid-range. I mean, it's 200 meters of throw, so it's actually hitting those trees out the back, believe it or not. And yeah, it's just like a wall of light. There's a ton of spill on the ground as well in front of me on these higher modes, but on the lower modes really not much spill. Probably the mid mode you've got a bit more spill, but that high mode, that's incredible. It's a nice little beam. Okay, I've got the Xiaomi Mijia, and this is the spot mode. Sort of step through the modes: low, medium, high. The short range scenario here. And I'll go for a bit of a walk and also turn on the lantern mode as well.